All right, as I said earlier, today we are going to be looking at a writing prompt. And again, this writing prompt is not an essay prompt. It is only a short constructed response. So your response, when you do complete it during the independent work time, should only be about a paragraph long. And a paragraph will fully answer the question in the writing prompt. And as long as you answer the different parts of the prompt, you should be good to go. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to practice our do what protocol. And I know that this is something that we have done countless times throughout the year, and we are going to continue to do it throughout the year because we want to make sure that we break down the writing prompt successfully, so you guys do end up answering the writing prompt. So I'm going to read through the writing prompt, and then we are going to talk about our do words and our what phrases. Okay. So the prompt is reread excerpt number 1 from Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. In a one-paragraph response, answer the question, what 2 things was Douglass deprived of as a child that his audience thinks every child should have? Remember to recycle the prompt, use textual evidence to support your ideas, and write incomplete sentences. All right. So the reason why I asked you guys the activator prompt, and we already went through the activator, is to give you guys some sort of ideas as to what to think of when it comes to answering this question. First thing that we want to do is we want to break down this writing prompt. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to find our do words. And if we remember our do words, we should highlight our do words.
Can I say one of them?
Yep, you can say one of them in just a second. Yep. Remember that our do words are verbs, are action words, and they are what we are doing as a writer. Okay, so looking at our first do word, Caleb, do you have a suggestion as to what that word is?
Use.
Okay, let's see, use. Okay, that is an example of one. So we'll highlight that one. Okay. Let's look up earlier in the prompt because there's one before that. It says reread excerpt. Yeah, go ahead, Mariana. Yep.
Reread is one.
Yep. Very good pick up there. Reread excerpt 1. And then what are we doing after we reread in a one-paragraph response? What are we doing next?
Answer.
Yes, Bree. Nice work. Answer. Answer the question. Let's see. Remember to recycle the prompt. Use textual evidence to support your ideas, and write incomplete sentences. There are 2 more. 2 more. What's it telling us to do with the prompt?
It also says write.
Say again. Oh, write. Yes. Yep. Write is one, and there is one more.
Remember.
Yes. Very nice. Remember. Okay. So we have all of our do words highlighted at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the first one, and we're going to go in order. Of course, our first do word is reread. Okay. Now we're going to move on to our what phrases. And of course, for these, we are going to underline. And if you hold down Control and hit the letter U, that is the shortcut for underline. So what we are doing with the do. So for example, reread. What is it we are rereading? We're going to ask ourselves that question. What are we doing with this word? So what are we rereading? Any guesses?
The expert.
Yes.
Life. Okay.
Yep. So excerpt 1 from Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. So we're going to select this, and then we are going to underline it. And we can go here and we can type this in, excerpt 1 from narrative of the life of Frederick. Oops. Very good. What questions do we have so far? Next, we're going to go to our next do, which is answer.
The
now we're going to
question.
ask, yes, exactly. The question, what two things was Douglass deprived of as a child that his audience thinks every child should have? So we're going to select all of that. We are going to underline it. And then we are going to write it in our what column. Things was Douglass deprived of as a child that his audience thinks every child should have. All right, very well. Add another one because we are going to need it. So.
Can you go back up?
Yes, sorry. All right.
It's okay.
All right. I'll give you guys a minute to kind of catch up. And before we move on to the third do, we are going to do a quick stop and jot, because this is where we are actually going to answer the question. And that way, or not fully answer the question, but we are going to give ourselves some ideas of how to answer the question. So in this box, we're going to put stop and jot. And the first thing that I want to do is I would like, just so there's no confusion. Remember, this is the do what chart is designed to really break the writing prompt down so there's no confusion whatsoever as to what the prompt is asking us to do. And that includes, what is this question asking us? So I want us to take a look at this question first. It says, what two things was Douglass deprived of as a child that his audience thinks every child should have? So now I think it would be really helpful for us if we were to put that question in our own words. In other words, let's see. So Bree, I'm looking at your screen and I just see like two people in the thing. I don't really know why. That's a little weird. So this question, what two things was Douglass deprived of as a child that his audience thinks every child should have? So in your own words, what is this question asking? What's another way that we could think of this question? Caleb, you got a response?
Yeah, what two things they took away from them that they took away from him that was important?
Taken away from him that were important to all children. I'll just add in that. What two things? Very good. That's a good way of looking at this, right? What two things were taken away from him that were important to all children? And this is where we're going to actually list off those things. And we talked about briefly in the activator. Let me see. So Bree, I'm going to try and unshare my screen and then I'll reshare it because you joined up after. Hopefully that'll work. Okay. So we talked about briefly in the opening, right? That he was children are, or I should say, he was taken away from his mother at an early age. One thing. Another that we had talked about. So he was taken away from his mother at an early age. What was another one, Mariana?
They was also took away the education.
Yes. Not allowed a proper education. And there was, I think, one more. I'm trying to go back in the chat. We can say some. That's I'm gonna use Ash's what she said, or what they said. Let's see. Parents. Oh, sorry. We didn't know who his father was. And we say many slaves didn't know who their parents were.
And his age.
And his age. Yep. Very good. Very good. Very good. Didn't know his exact age. Very good. So these are all answers to that question. And you may absolutely use, this is only asking for 2. We have 4 that are listed. So you may absolutely use at least 2 of these. If you want to use more, that's great. It's only asking for 2. All right. Now we're going to continue on. We have 3 more. Yep. Let's see. So we have 3 more. And we're going to type these in. We got remember, use, and write. So remember, use. And if you need to add a box, like a column box, if you go onto the right here, if you click on the right and your cursor is on the right there, and you hit enter, it will add on a new one. Because I know that you may need to do that.
How do you do it?
So if you go down to the bottom and you click kind of on the side, you'll notice that your cursor is to the right. If you click on the side there, you'll see how mine is to the right of the columns. If you hit enter now, it'll add on a new one. It'll add on a new
My
box.
cursor is not on the right.
Let's see. Let me see. So click, okay, so you might not be, I don't know if you'll be able to add, or you could insert, you can probably insert a table and then just add in your two extra boxes.
Okay.
Or extra box or whatever you got to do. So we're going to go back up to the prompt real quick, and I'll quickly kind of underline the things that we need to put into the do what chart. So we know that we remember, what are we remembering? To recycle the prompt. And that basically means just turn the question around. Use, what are we using? Textual evidence to support your ideas. And then write, what are we writing? Incomplete sentences. So from there, we're going to transfer those into our do what chart. Cycle the prompt, turn around, use textual evidence to support your ideas. And then write incomplete sentences. Okay. And I'll zoom out so you guys can see everything here. And if you want to just copy and paste, that's also an option as well. If you want to save a little bit of time instead of typing everything. So now from here, after we have successfully broken down our writing prompt, you are now going to answer the writing prompt in the space below. So if you need me to, I will I'll share the text again, just a file of the text in the chat. That way you guys can access it. and you can kind of refer back to it. Or if you prefer, you can go back into your assignment from last week and use that to kind of review. But you will have about 25 minutes to work on this open response. And I do ask that you guys do it in the space below the table. So you can go on and just write, just move on and write. Okay. So remember, we're gonna start off our response with turning the question around, right? Recycling the writing prompt. So one example that we can do that, 2 things that, whoops, if I could spell correctly, that Douglass was deprived of as a child, that his audience thinks every child should have. And then you are going to answer that writing prompt. Just one. One paragraph, that is it. Okay.
Mister?
Paragraph. Hello, good morning.
I'm sorry. I've been having on Friday and today I had internet connection
Not a problem.
issues.
Not a-
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Gladdy,
Yeah.
yes, that's all you have to do. Yep. So you're writing a paragraph response. 2 things that Douglass was deprived of as a child that his audience thinks every child should have are, answer that. And then again, remember to follow our do what chart. You need to answer the question. We just turned the question around. You need to use textual evidence, so you need at least 2 pieces of text evidence. And you need to write in complete sentences. Okay? Again, this is just an open response. This is a constructive response. Yes?
How do you put the boxes there? Because I couldn't hear you.
So yeah, if it works, so I'll show you, and I'll see if I can zoom in. So if you see the table here, if you click on the side, you'll notice how my cursor is on the right there, how it's kind of blinking to the side. All you have to do is hit enter, and that will give you another box. It'll add on another box to it. But again, I know Caleb was having trouble with that, so it may or may not be.
Where's the story?
I will put it in the chat for you all.
Okay.
Okay. So what questions do we have before I set you guys off? Okay.